All right, so last week, in our last lesson, we started John chapter 14, and Jesus is with his disciples. I told you he's going to be very intimate with him for a while, for a few hours more, until he is arrested and eventually brought to trial and crucified. So he's explains to his disciples, he goes, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. For in my Father's house there are many dwelling places, and I will come back here to take you to be with me." So what Jesus showed us was that we can have a troubled life. We are going to have a troubled life, but yet we could still have an untroubled heart if we focus on him and let him lead us in our lives to calm us down, to get us through the problem so that eventually we are with him for all of eternity. Because once we get to eternity, none of this is going to matter. Now, Thomas gets ready to ask him. I'm going to be reading verses 5 through 7 right now. And Thomas, one of his disciples, asks him a very good question. He says, "How can we know the way?" So the verses go like this. Thomas said to him, "Lord, we don't know where you are going, so how can we know the way?" Jesus answered him, and what Jesus says here is a very bold, very confident, and definitive. So I want you to listen to this, and I'm going to explain it to you in a little bit. Jesus answered him, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen him." Now, what Jesus says here is he says he is the way, the truth, and the life, and that no one comes to the Father but through him. So you have to look at your life. You have to look at yourself in order for this to make sense. You have to say, are you lost? Do you not know where you're going? If you find Jesus, he will show you where he wants you to go. And you will see this path laid out for you as you move along. You will be able to trust him with each and every turn in your life. He wants to tell you that he's the truth. Are you confused? Do you not know which end is up? Are you unsure about even eternity? Are you unsure about him? Well, find him, because Jesus will show you the truth. The Bible speaks the truth about life, and that is one thing I have learned. That is the truth. Whatever's happening in the Bible is the truth. Whatever is in store for me is the truth. However my life is going to turn out from following him, which means all of eternity, that is the truth. If you look around the world today, you will see so many things that they call truth, but they're not truth. Really, what they are is they are for now. And for now is not going to work. So you need to seek him out if you want to know the truth. He says he is the life. So do you feel empty? Do you feel like you don't know where you're going? Do you feel like you don't know what to do? Do you feel like you have no purpose, no use, whatever? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel empty? Do you feel confused? Find Jesus. Jesus will fill you with truth, and he will change your life in ways that you could not imagine. I couldn't imagine the change that he made to me. I wasn't expecting that change, and he made that change. And now I look at life completely different. I told you last week in the last video that I am looking at life differently because of eternity. Then Jesus makes a definitive statement. He says, "No one can come to the Father except through me." Jesus is going to prove that through the crucifixion and the resurrection. Remember what we learned in Hebrews chapter 1, verses 1 through 4. In the past, God spoke to his people through the prophets in many ways and at various times. But now he speaks to his people through his Son. The Son is the essence of the Father and the radiance of his glory. Remember that. Jesus is the representative of God. Jesus is who God is. So if you want to know God, you want to know these truths, you want your life to mean something, you want to spend all of eternity with him in paradise, then you must seek him out, because he is the only way. There is no other way. Plain and simple. Next week, we're going to see how he takes it further and how he explains and comforts his disciples just a little bit more.